Olá, boa noite. Eu sou o Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 4 de Broken Sword 2, o Espelho Nebuloso. Ontem, George e Nicole descobriram que Quaramont é dominada pela mãe do general e que o poder público protege as atividades do Corsac, o chefe do professor Aubier, o financiador das escavações do Aubier. A gerente da mina tem certeza de que a explosão não foi um acidente, foi sabotagem da turma do Corsac e do Aubier. Por isso, quer livrar o acusado de revolucionário Miguel para saber os detalhes de tudo e fornece o detonador de explosivos. Para seguir nas investigações, o George ajuda o Duane a libertar o Miguel. Eles fogem no barco, mas esse barco é torpedeado e o George acorda sozinho numa praia, de onde a gente retoma a aventura.
Interwoven vines made up what looked like a drive belt.
Trepadeiras parecendo uma correia. Vou pegar aqui.
That vine rope could be useful.
Lavadora.
The contraption consisted of a crude wooden wheel with wooden slats. The machine was broken. A wooden box was connected to the nearby water wheel.
Uma bomba aqui para mover a roda de água.
The iron rim of the water wheel would have torn the skin from my fingers if I'd touched it. It was a pile of damp leaves.
Montão de folhas úmidas.
It was a large wooden cross.
Uma grande cruz de madeira.
It was heavy. I guess that was intentional.
E agora eu ponho a cruz nas folhas, não tem um jeito de só deixar onde ela estava? Ah, tem. Bastou clicar ali. Eu ainda estou investigando o que tem aqui.
Two round stones were carefully balanced on a wooden structure.
Uma prensa. Então é para amassar alguma coisa.
The stones were too heavy to turn by hand.
Não dá para girar com as mãos, então é isso mesmo, para usar a cruz.
The leverage from the cross allowed me to turn one of the stones, but the other one remained stationary.
Gira só uma das rodas de pedra. Tem que prender, amarrar uma na outra.
It was a length of rope made of twisted and knotted vines.
Usar essa corda feita das trepadeiras. Mas também não sei porque que ele quer uma prensa funcionando.
The vine provided a drive belt to connect the two stones.
Cruz com a prensa. De novo. Dessa vez o
Now I had the
mecanismo
contraption working.
funciona. Agora só falta alguma coisa para colocar aí. E saber por que eu precisaria colocar alguma coisa. Casa na árvore.
I'd always wanted a treehouse like that when I was a kid.
Hello? Anyone home?
Ah, é lá que estão tocando órgão e daí não escutam nada aqui? E por que eu tenho um monte de folhas aqui? Para fazer uma fogueirinha, será? O jornal.
I placed the newspaper clipping over the damp leaves.
Ah, agora tem que fazer faísca, então. Será o carvão da sorte? Tem que pôr lá também? Não.
As I held the fetish to the iron rim of the wheel, a shower of sparks cascaded onto the leaves.
Agora o padre saiu.
Quick, man, put out that fire. I've got a sick woman up here.
Sorry, Father, but I needed to attract your attention.
Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Stobart, George Stobart.
I'm Father Hubert. I don't suppose you speak French.
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
I found a young woman with a fever by the river this morning. The poor girl is close to death, and there's nothing I can do for her but pray. I don't understand her, but I think she's speaking French.
Hang on. That must be Nico.
Encontrou a Nico, padre.
It was Father Hubert. What are you doing out here in the jungle?
God's work. Not quite the destination I had in mind when I set out, but, well, you know what they say? Mysterious ways and so on.
You didn't plan to end up here?
No. I was on my way to the miners' camp in the north. I was stuck here when my boat capsized on the river.
That's exactly what happened to me. How long have you been here?
11 years.
11 anos que ele tá aí.
That's my girlfriend you've got in your treehouse. What's the matter with her?
She's been bitten by a venomous river snake.
But can't you do something for her? There's a cure, isn't there?
I ran out of penicillin and morphine years ago, but the local people speak of a root which they believe will counteract the poison.
Tem uma raiz para combater o veneno.
Where can I find this root?
I don't know, but maybe the shaman at the village can tell us.
O xamã do povoado pode dizer.
Will you show me the way to the village?
Me? Oh, but I can't.
Can't? Nico's life depends on it.
You're right. Of course I should, despite my own guilt and shame. But I can't go as a representative of God with a creased collar.
A creased collar? You mean you put your personal attire higher than the life of a sick woman?
I will not go to that village looking anything but my best.
Give me your collar. I'm sure I can find a way to press it.
Ele tá com o colarinho amassado.
Thank you, my son. In the meantime, I must contemplate my sermon.
Com o colarinho
There
amassado.
was obviously more than a creased collar bothering the priest.
Com o colarinho amassado, ele não quer ir de jeito nenhum para a aldeia. Agora eu já sei porque que eu queria uma prensa de pedras ali.
It was Father Hubert's collar. He wanted me to press it for him.
Vamos passar o colarinho do padre.
So there I was, hundreds of miles from civilization, doing the housework for a priest. It's a strange world. The press worked surprisingly well on the collar.
Agora tá bem lisinho e todo sujo de lama.
It was Father Hubert's collar, and very nicely pressed it was, too. Here's your collar, Father.
Thank you, George. You probably think it a little odd of me to make such a fuss.
Oh, no. If I'd been living in the jungle for 11 years, I'd be completely screwy, too.
Screwy? Yes, perhaps I am. Ever since my last visit to that village.
Do you want to tell me what happened at the village?
I forgot my vows. I let myself be overwhelmed by the beauty of this unspoiled paradise, and in a moment of weakness, animal passion reared its rampant head.
You know, you should be writing romantic novels. Did you experience some kind of a physical liaison at the village?
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I found myself doing the monkey dance.
I've never heard it called that before. And I didn't want to pry any deeper into Hubert's murky past. Now you've got your collar back, will you take me to the village?
I've still not finished my sermon.
Look, Father, I still don't know why you're so reluctant to visit that village, and it's none of my business. Whatever the reason, it can't be more important than saving Nico's life.
You're right. I must be crazy. We must make haste if we're to reach the village before nightfall.
By the time we reached the village, it was sunset.
Hello, boys. Glad to see you're still wearing the underpants, what?
They're the best Christmas present we ever had, Father.
Mine are too tight.
Well, we all have our cross to bear. This is George. He has a request to make. I'm afraid I can't stay. Good luck, George.
That's a relief. I never feel comfortable with him about.
Me neither. These damn pants keep riding right up my butt.
So, what do you want?
Nico,
My girlfriend has been bitten by a snake.
So, everyone in my family has been bitten by snakes.
I was bitten by a dormouse once.
She's real sick. I hoped your wise man might have medicine.
Wise man? You must have the wrong village.
não tem nenhum homem sábio aqui, não.
Father Hubert said there was a wise man in the village who could help me.
Ooh, he must mean the old man, the shaman.
O velho xamã, talvez você queira dizer.
Are you going to stand by and let my girlfriend die?
Of course not. What do you think we are, savages?
We'll start the preparations for a cremation feast.
I'd like to see the shaman, please.
You can't just go walking in there and demand to speak to the shaman.
Why not?
You have to observe the protocol. The shaman demands tribute.
Tribute? You mean like a gift?
That's right.
The eternal question. What do you give a man who has everything? Give me a clue. What kind of things does your shaman like? Does he have a hobby, a favorite sport?
You insult us. The shaman lives on a higher plane.
Oh, right. Maybe a book would be more suitable. Or a jigsaw puzzle? Don't you just hate choosing presents for people you don't know?
Cone de chaminé.
This cone could have 1,000 uses.
Yeah? Like what?
A protective helmet?
I don't think so.
Gusano.
Look, I know it's not much, but I want your shaman to have this.
Do you expect him to eat that?
He's an old man, you know. He might choke.
Would your wise man have any use for lipstick?
Not in that color.
Haven't you anything in black?
Of course I don't.
Se fosse batom preto, poderia.
This stone is what brought me here.
That's a spirit stone. I wouldn't touch it if I was you.
You're right. It could be cursed.
O que sobrou então, biscoitos caninos?
Here, he'll like these biscuits.
If you say so. He liked the biscuits, especially the black ones. He wants to know if you've any more.
Quer mais biscoitos, principalmente dos pretos. Mais um. Com a pedra preta, que é a única coisa que o xamã pode se interessar.
I don't think so.
Ah, a caixa na
I put the
pedra
Mayan
não,
stone in the empty box.
mas a pedra na caixa sim.
Here, I found some more of those biscuits for the shaman.
I'll give them to him. The shaman wants to talk to you.
I hoped he would. Well, it's been nice to talk to you guys. The old guy was obviously the shaman of these people. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Please, sit down. Welcome, George.
Thanks.
It has long been foretold that a white man would bring the Coyote Stone to this village.
Pedra Coyote.
My girlfriend's been bitten by a snake.
And you want me to heal her?
That's the idea. Can you do it?
I'm not sure. My gums aren't what they used to be.
Listen, my girlfriend's in a coma. Please, old man, give me the root.
What root?
Father Hubert told me of a root which could cure the bite of the river snake.
Tuh. There's nothing sacred with these people. That was our secret, known only to members of my tribe.
If that root is my chance of saving Nico's life, then I want it. Fast.
There is time yet, George Stobart. Time to learn why you were called here.
Why is Father Hubert so reluctant to visit the village?
I don't know. He used to come here a lot, but then he just stopped. You'd think he'd want to spend some time with his kids.
Did you say Father Hubert has kids?
3 girls and 5 boys by my reckoning. All conceived in the same week at the Feast of the Monkey Dance.
Ah, a dança do macaco fez o padre desatinar. Por isso ele não quer mais voltar.
Fine. If I listen to your story, then will you give me the root?
The eel travels far, but still returns to the place of his spawning.
And look, I'm running a tight schedule, so can you skip the riddles?
Many years ago, when the world was young, the great god and king Quetzalcoatl was defeated by trickery and deceit. His enemy Tezcatlipoca took his place as leader and demanded terrible human sacrifices. A group of loyal priests found a way to trap Tezcatlipoca. But his powers were so great, they knew he would not remain trapped forever. His time of incarceration would end with the eclipse, which marked the close of the 5th age. So the priests fashioned 3 obsidian stones which contained the power to seal the mirror for all time. But before the stones could be put in place, they were seized by the invading Spanish.
But how did they trap Tez, the evil god?
They built a pyramid which they told Tezcatlipoca was dedicated to him. At its center, they fashioned a huge mirror of perfectly smooth obsidian. Luring him into the pyramid with praise and flattery, they used sorcery to ensnare him in the mirror.
There's an eclipse of the sun due very soon, isn't there?
Correct. The eclipse which marks the ending of the Fifth Age will come before the next full moon.
Less than 2 weeks. I didn't really believe that Tezcatlipoca would return, but I figured Karzak's plans were in some way connected. What happened to the stones?
They were taken by the Spanish to the coastal town that is now called Quaramonte City. Only one stone reached Spain. The other 2 fell into the hands of buccaneers. The Jaguar Stone was captured by an English captain, El Draco. The Eagle Stone was taken by a pirate called Ketch. The 3rd stone, the Coyote Stone, reached Spain safely. That is the stone in your possession.
I don't suppose this would be any use to you.
It sure would. This wax on a stick will change our lives.
What do you want it for?
To decorate our bodies for the monkey dance.
Ele queria o batom e eu não ia nem oferecer.
Tell me more about the Jaguar Stone.
Many centuries ago, the port of Quaramonte was entered by a ship flying Spanish colors. The captain, the man known as El Draco, sent soldiers ashore. Only when the soldiers arrested the mayor did the people realize that they were English privateers. The mayor was held hostage while the soldiers looted and plundered the city. Amongst the treasures they stole was the Jaguar Stone.
Where is the Jaguar Stone now?
I suppose El Draco took it back to his homeland, across the Great Sea.
To England. Tell me more about the Eagle Stone.
The stone was loaded onto a galleon with many valuable artifacts plundered by the Spanish. But shortly after leaving harbor, a terrible squall blew up and damaged the ship. The ship was intercepted by a bloodthirsty pirate, Captain Ketch. Ketch made short work of overpowering the crew, stealing the treasure, and sinking the Spanish ship.
Where's the Eagle Stone now?
Nobody knows for sure. Ketch retired from piracy and bought an island in the Caribbean.
Comprou uma ilha no Caribe, tá perto então.
What do I do when I find the stones?
Bring them here to me and I shall prepare you. The stones must be taken to the heart of the pyramid. Only there can they be used to seal the gate by which Tezcatlipoca will return to this world.
Então ele tem que achar as outras 2 pedras para fazer o ritual e manter o mal prisioneiro no Espelho Nebuloso, dentro da pirâmide maia.
Now do I get the root?
Here, take it. Make haste if you wish to save the girl's life. The hummingbird sings to me of death to come.
Now you're talking in riddles again. Listen, is it okay if I crash here? I've got no chance of finding my way through the jungle in the dark.
You're welcome, but you probably won't get much sleep. Tonight's the night of the monkey dance.
Pouco depois, ele também vai deixar um monte de filhos no dele.
I left the village at dawn and stumbled back through the jungle in a post-party daze. It was just like sneaking back to my parents' house when I was younger. Except Oakland didn't have monkeys or parrots.
Tem que entregar a raiz pro padre, será?
I've got the root, Hubert.
So what are you waiting for? Give it to the gal.
Right. The shaman thinks you should go visit your kids.
So, he told you?
Look, Hubert, having an extended family is nothing to be ashamed of. If I was you, I'd be ashamed of not being there for them.
It was that damned monkey dance that led me astray.
Yeah. A sight like that must be difficult to forget. Nico, I've brought you this root. No way was she going to be able to chew the root. I needed to give her the antidote in a more digestible form.
Vai ter que dissolver.
I didn't have any use for Hubert's candles.
Jarra.
I couldn't steal from a priest.
Uma raspadinha de raiz. Sim, e escorre para onde, já que não pode usar já? O cone da chaminé. Yeah.
The cone was ideal as a makeshift container. As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone. Look, Hubert, the antidote.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to the girl, quickly.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other 2 stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, George Stobart?
Well, the patient is sounding more like her old self already.
Já tá brava, voltou ao normal. Depois de voar pelo Mar do Caribe,
Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing.
a ilha comprada pelo Capitão Ketch. Quem será esse homem?
The guy was studying a large document.
E o documento?
It looked like a set of plans.
São os planos. E o teodolito deve ser o teodolito.
I recognized the instrument as a theodolite, but I had no idea how to operate it.
Mas, e isso alguma vez atrapalhou para você usar as coisas? O homem vai dizer, sai daí. Claro. Tem alguma coisa na ponta do mastro ali. É isso que dá para ver. Uma coisa brilhante.
Hi, is this Ketch's Landing?
Yeah, that's right.
My name's George Stobart. You're a surveyor, right, Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know. Hobby, maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here, anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
What are you doing with a theodolite?
Surveying the old house. I got great plans for this place.
Oh, yeah?
You bet. Take a look around. What do you see?
Paradise.
I see opportunity. This place is ripe for development.
I like it just the way it is.
And that's where we differ. You see, Mr. Stobart, I'm what you might call a man of vision. I see a great future for Ketch's Landing, and it all starts here, with that house.
How do you survey a house like that?
I've put a target reflector on the end of one of the flagpoles up there on the house. I sight on it from various locations through the theodolite, record the angles along the baseline, and triangulate them to give me the exact position of the target. Understand?
Why the end of the flagpole? Wouldn't it have been better on a corner of a wall or something?
Are you a surveyor?
No, my degree's in law.
Then shut up.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it! The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay?
Catch you later, Bronson.
Os planos. Olhar os planos.
I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
Hey, get out of there.
You know, wherever I go, I hear those words. Paris, Syria, Ireland, or Spain. Makes no difference.
What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to show some interest in your project.
Todo mundo me diz sai daí. Só me dizem sai daí. Ah, eles sempre falam isso, diria tio. Ó, se fosse o Guybrush Threepwood, já ia negociar com o pescador aqui.
It was a seaworthy little craft, in bad need of a coat of paint, but spotlessly clean and maintained. I didn't know the first thing about sailing a dinghy.
Chico.
The kid looked about 11 or 12. He was fishing with the intense concentration of someone who had all the time in the world.
Conversar então, já que tem tempo.
You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means, well, it's just a name. Is it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
That's right. That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
What do you know about Captain Ketch?
Just what everybody knows around here. He was a pirate and get himself hung.
No school today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
Who are these old ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They kind of regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
Will you help me get those plans?
I don't want to go nowhere near that man. He promised to drown me when he found the fish I left in his sleeping bag.
Então o cara é tratante. Rede de pesca.
I didn't want a fishing net.
Eu não queria uma rede de pesca. Mas aproveita que tem lugar no bolso, vai pegando as coisas.
A cute little putty tat. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. It was busily torturing a red ball. 2 old ladies were sitting outside the house, enjoying afternoon tea. The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point.
Vamos subir lá para ver o que é? Ou vamos tentar entrar? O melhor era falar com as senhoras ali.
A large tree stood beside the house, with a suggestive U formed by the branches. It was a sturdy, extendable ladder.
Uma escada com extensão.
The ladder extended easily.
Vai entrar pela janela, boa ideia.
You there? What are you doing?
Pardon me, ladies. I was just going to climb your ladder. I'm helping Bronson.
Oh, you're not like him, are you? He's very polite, isn't he, Frost? And he has dimples when he smiles.
Porta, então.
It was locked.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Oh, of course. This must be the place Bronson's surveying.
The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am, I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't exactly have to fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
Hi, Puss. Want to play? Hey, cat. Watch where you're putting those claws. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea. Is that your cat?
Yes, it is.
That's Ruddles.
Do you like cats, Mr. Stobart?
Claro que eu vou mentir que eu gosto. Ele vai mentir que gosta.
You bet. Especially spit roast.
Falou isso mesmo? Tem que agradar as senhoras donas do gato e vai dizer eles são bons, principalmente assados?
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house. Can you tell me anything about Captain Ketch?
More than you can tell me about your great-great-great-great-grandfather, no doubt.
You're his descendants?
Certainly. Captain Ketch was born in Dorset, England, in the reign of King Henry VIII. His family were undistinguished farmers, but young Frederick Ketch decided to go to sea.
We have plenty of seamen in our family, Mr. Stobart.
Are you interested in history, Mr. Stobart?
Se me interessa a história, claro.
Yes, I am. You were telling me about Captain Ketch. Do go on.
Oh, yes. He sailed under Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins?
John Hawkins, one of the great traders of the Elizabethan age. In 1568, Frederick Ketch was a young man serving aboard the Jesus, Hawkins' flagship. They sailed from England to Africa and across the wide Atlantic to these islands. Ketch was never to see the shores of England again.
How come Ketch never made it home?
Because the Spaniards sank the Jesus in an act of treachery.
You said Hawkins' fleet traded between Africa and the Indies. What was it they were trading?
Black men with no shirts.
You have to understand, Mr. Stobart, that this was the 16th century.
But that doesn't alter the fact that Hawkins and Ketch were slavers and pirates.
Would it surprise you to learn that Hawkins was also a devoutly religious man?
He transported slaves in a ship named after Jesus Christ. In my book, that makes him a hypocrite. What happened to Ketch? Was he killed?
Oh, no. He got away and returned to this island, to this very house.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum.
Frederick Ketch sounds like he was a pirate to me.
As I have already told you, sir, he was not a pirate.
They hanged him, you know, down there on the beach in front of his family. Didn't bother with the trial, just whipped him out from his breakfast table and hoisted him up in chains.
Well, if he wasn't a pirate, what did they hang him for?
Envy. Pure green-eyed envy. He had been a successful privateer, you see, and had accumulated great wealth.
As rich as a mink in a paddock.
Shut up, Mina.
Yes, Frost.
The small-minded governor and his lackeys wanted his money, trumped up some ridiculous charge about breaking the conditions of his letter of marque, and hanged him like a common thief. The blackguards!
Letter of marque?
The document that permitted him to engage and destroy the enemies of the crown. The difference between a lawful privateer and a pirate.
Yoo-hoo! Sorry, Frost.
Well, why didn't Ketch just say, take a hike, guys, I've got a pirating license?
Frederick Ketch was not a pirate!
But he did show them his letter of marque.
But they destroyed it and hanged him anyway.
I've been talking to Rio. The little fisher boy?
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobart.
Yeah, well, he's only, what, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the tops.
What is it about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
Quem é Emily?
What can you tell me about Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
It's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
What else can you tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
A Emily elas pegaram para criar depois que os pais foram mortos. Então ele vai ter que explorar o único sentimento digno que elas mostram.
Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Well betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobart. Heaven help you.
Elas vão atrás da Emily.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon.
As irmãs que nunca brigam partiram. Pegar a bola do gato agora.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
Então eu preciso distrair o gato. Agora eu subo.
I didn't have a flag on me, so the flagpole would have to stay bare.
Eu não tenho uma bandeira. E pegar a coisa que está nesse outro mastro aqui. Não alcança.
I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across.
Ter que derrubar a coisa ali. Mas tenho que jogar alguma coisa para derrubar e deve ser a bola do gato. Então, tem que arranjar alguma coisa para distrair o gato. Vou combinar com o Rio. Fale-me do picareta do Teodolito.
I think Bronson is trying to cheat those sweet, vulnerable old ladies.
That's a little unfair, isn't it?
Okay, he's trying to cheat those seriously demented, poisonous old ladies.
You have to admire his acumen.
Tell me about your friend Emily.
Why are you so interested in Emily Ketch?
Emily Ketch? A descendant of Captain Ketch, the pirate?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't bother you?
Why should it? We don't responsible for our ancestors.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. Oh, I know all about Mr. Bronson's plans.
Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you say you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quaramontian dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
O banco mais próximo está a 3 ilhas. Eu vou te dar a calcinha da minha namorada. Então.
Will you give me a fish if I give you these, Rio, are these ugly, tasteless nylon panties worth a fish?
No, man.
Claro que não. E vai se livrar do gusano agora? Tinha uma utilidade. Não vai carregar até o fim do jogo, que nem o nariz de palhaço?
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while, though.
Can I take a look at your plans?
No way! What interest would they be to you, anyhow?
I've always had a secret desire to be a surveyor.
You have?
Sure. I mean, you surveyors are just like the great explorers, aren't you? Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, Chris Columbus. Maybe you don't sail uncharted seas or discover new continents, but you're okay in my book.
Horse shit. You just stay away from those plans, you hear? Say, was that kid giving you trouble?
The Fisher boy? No, he was very polite.
Ha! He's a juvenile delinquent. I suppose he told you I was a crook.
Oh no, he's a good kid. He'd never say anything like that.
Sure he would, the little punk.
Tell me about the two old ladies.
Who? The Ketch sisters. One of them's crazy as a coot, and the other will turn you to stone if you're not careful.
Did you see the sisters go by?
Yeah, they wanted to string that Fisher brat up. Of course, I told them where to find him.
A fink as well as a creep. Nice.
But he'd managed to vanish somehow.
Catch you later, Bronson.
O cara não vale centavo mesmo. Pescou meu peixe, Rio.
Did you see the weird sisters come by here?
Did I? They look madder than usual, so I hide until they're gone by.
Just as well. They thought you were playing with Emily. Boy, were they steamed.
Emily? You're madder than them.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the boy.
Só muda a cena depois que ele sobe. A Bá falou que ele podia entrar pela janela. Acho que não vi nenhuma janela que desse sangue. Tem uma aqui.
Just my luck. I'd struck out again. The windows were all locked.
Tudo trancado, diria a criatura do Frankenstein. No game pelos olhos do monstro. Frankenstein através dos olhos do monstro. Preciso jogar esse jogo, ver se era tão bom como eu imaginava, porque era o primeiro que eu jogava, ou se era tão ruim como os outros achavam e eu teimava que não. Peixe.
No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey! I caught a bite!
You have?
It's a big one! A real big one!
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, it must be a whale or something.
Monociclo.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
A baleia mais enferrujada que eu já vi.
I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait.
Posso pegar a bicicleta?
It was half a rusting bicycle frame.
Meio quadro de bicicleta oxidado.
The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that.
Só a câmara de ar do pneu da bicicleta que poderia ter utilidade. Mas sem nada pendurado não vai catar a coisa que está no outro mastro e nem vai distrair o gato também. Tem que pendurar alguma coisa na outra ponta, que deve ser o peixe.
Maybe I had a future as a surrealist artist.
Senão fica só uma obra surrealista. Como é que eles dizem nas exposições? Uma instalação surrealista.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem.
Pronto, matou o peixe. Pode colocar no bolso agora. Pendurar o peixe nessa coisa aqui. Peixe mais câmara de ar.
That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac.
Pega a bolinha, rápido. O gato só olha, cheio de desejo ali, porque não alcança o peixe. Pegar de volta a câmera. Pelo menos foi legal de dar o peixe pro gato. Um olho no peixe, outro no gato. Agora joga a bola no mastro para derrubar.
Nah, I didn't have the throwing strength to knock the marker off.
Tem que jogar com força.
I couldn't think of any reason to climb the tree.
Trepar na árvore. Faz um estilingue. E usa uma bolinha vermelha.
I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
Agora o cara vai sair de lá para eu poder olhar, pegar os planos. Eu presumo. Ou ele vai vir aqui me massacrar e acabou o jogo. Porque o George Stobart morre.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting.
Vai pôr outro no mastro de cá, então. Já que não dá pra sair pela janela. Tira a escada.
What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson. I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously.
Pega o marcador.
The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things. It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though.
Mas eu devo pegar o teodolito também? Devo. Virou mãozinha agora. E essa não coube no bolsinho, ele teve que colocar na cueca. Pegar os planos também.
With Bronson out of the way, I could finally get a clear look at the plans. Engineers' drawings didn't mean much to me, but one thing was clear. These plans were for a 5-story, 200-roomed, luxury, pirate-themed hotel. Another stain on the bedspread of paradise.
You there? Why is Mr. Bronson hanging from that flagpole?
He climbed up there of his own accord.
Then help him, you stupid man! Quickly, before he falls!
Bronson was dangling from the flagpole like the worm on Rio's fishing pole.
Hey, get me down!
What's the magic word?
Please!
Oh, bad luck. I was thinking of Alakazam.
Segundo a Bass, ele pediu por favor, tem que fazer.
I've got your plans, Bronson. I know about the hotel.
So what? This is between me and the dames.
Those sweet old ladies trusted you. This isn't what they wanted.
Oh, people like them don't know what they want. Instead of wasting their money on this mausoleum, I can turn it to profit.
But you should have discussed it with them first. If I was to let you down, will you promise to come clean about your plan?
Sure I will.
And you'll come to a tasteful compromise with Miss Frost and Miss Mina?
Taste? What's taste got to do with architecture?
Oh, dear. You'll have to stay where you are until you see sense.
You rat.
Catch you later, Bronson.
Senhoras, deixa eu contar uma verdade aqui.
Hi. Could I ask...
Never mind that. Help poor Mr. Bronson.
Pobre Mr. Bronson. Mostrar os planos para elas.
Here. Bronson's plans.
This means nothing to me.
She's not wearing her reading glasses.
Ah, wait. Yes, I see now. I see it all too clearly. That man is planning to build a huge hotel. Bronson is a confidence trickster. Mina, we have been duped. I'm glad we didn't sign his contract.
Oh, I hate tricksters. Especially confident ones.
Come, Mina. Mr. Bronson, you may consider yourself persona non grata.
Yes. Cave Canum.
Kindly disentangle yourself from our flagpole and eject yourself from our property this very minute.
Disentangle. Eject.
Hey, cut that out, you crazy old bat!
How dare you! Mina isn't crazy, she's just engagingly eccentric.
Yeah, as a bedbug. Ouch!
Lovely as this little vista is, I'd be really grateful if you could let me into the museum now.
Certainly, young man. We are most grateful to you for exposing this scoundrel. Mina, the lock.
Conseguiu.
Thanks, ladies.
Stobart, be a pal. Get these harpies off me. Ooh!
Enquanto isso, em Londres,
While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar Stone at the British Museum.
então por enquanto é isso. Vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, prestígio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.